Hello and welcome to the Ascentus Esol presentation. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Frances and my colleague Alex is with me as well. So just a bit of housekeeping about the webinars. Your microphones are muted to avoid excess noise, but we do have a questions box that you'll see down the side of your panels, so you can ask us any questions and we will answer them as we go along. At the end of the webinar, if you would like, we can unmute your microphones so you can have any questions there as well. We're recording this webinar and we will send it out to you with the slides at the end of the day. So just the agenda for you. We're going to have a quick introduction. We're going to go through the overall overview of Ascentus Esol qualifications and the benefits. We'll have a look at the Esol reading and writing, speaking and listening. Then we'll move to the pre-entry Esol. We'll go through community interpreting, the volunteering qualifications, and then we will start showing you some of our resources online as well. We also have a reading announcement and some testimonials for you as well. So just an overview of Ascentus. We were actually established in 1975, previously known as the Open College Northwest. We're an awarding organisation and an access validating agency as well. We are actually the largest access validating agency and we maintain a low risk rating. We're regulated by Ofqual, Qualifications Wales and the CCEA. All of our qualifications are eligible for funding under the ESFA. Not many of you some of you might not realise, but we are actually a registered educational charity as well. And we have a wide range of qualifications available. We have 400 qualifications across many different sectors. Obviously today we'll be showing you some of our Esol ones. So why Ascentus for Esol? So our Esol awards and certificates range from entry 1 to level 2. So there are different levels for different skill sets. That goes from speaking, listening, reading and writing as well. At Ascentus we don't have any minimum registration requirements, so you can register as many or as few learners as you wish. You can register your learners at any point prior to assessment as well, so that makes it a lot easier for the tutors and for the learners as well. We provide assessment papers available on demand, which we do update regularly. And we also don't have any weights for our resits. So if a learner maybe is perhaps moving or maybe heavily pregnant, they can resit this qualification without having to wait. There's also, if they do need to resit, no need to resit the whole paper in writing, speaking and listening. They can just resit certain tasks and elements of that assessment as well. One for the tutors, there is minimal paperwork for you guys, which really does help to reduce your workloads. So we have tried to make it as easy as possible for you. And obviously with the centres as well, we do promise quick certification for this Esol qualification. Some other things about the Esol provision alongside Ascentus. Our controlled assessments can be sat in the classroom. This takes the pressure off our Esol learners. You know, they're not going to have to be sat in exam hall conditions. I think we can all remember those flashbacks to our GCSEs or A-levels where we're sat in those individual desks in that exam hall, normally the sports hall with the wooden floor, and the invigilator walking up and down with the clicky heels. It's quite an uncomfortable situation. So we have taken away that and it can be sat in the familiar classroom. So that does, I feel, take the pressure away from the learners and it's a really good benefit for them. They also can have the tasks broken up for them and then they can be taken when the learner is ready. So again, just removing all of that pressure. We have a choice of live papers. So again, you can then select the paper that is relevant for your learner. At Ascentus, we offer bespoke on-site training. At the minute, because of COVID, it is being delivered online just because of the COVID situation that's happening. We also offer verification support and resources that we'll be showing you as well. The speaking assessment videos are marked, and the marked writing papers are available for staff training. So again, we're there to support you all the way through, and we do try and provide as many assessments and resources as we can. We develop the Esol qualification continuously, and our papers are refreshed each year as well, so we do make sure that we keep up to date. We also have designated subject experts known as our external quality assurers, or our EQAs, as many people call them. I know a lot of you online already have a lot of experience with them, so they're there for support. And we also have the customer support assistants as well, who are there at the end of the phone to answer any questions and deal with any issues you may have. So we don't leave you alone here at Acentus once you sign up. We are there to support you throughout your entire Acentus journey. So the support and training that we provide, so like I said, we have free on-site bespoke staff training, but due to COVID, it is actually online at the minute. We offer that bespoke verification model. Our live and practice papers are available on demand with unique assessor guidance, and the mark schemes are also available as well. You have direct contact by your allocated Esol EQA, and that is all year round. So they will be there to come into the centre, or again, online, depending on the centre's requirements because of COVID. And we hold free regional quality meetings as well. So you can meet different people in your area, share ideas, share best practice. It's a nice way to have that interaction with other centres that you may not normally have. And of course, we have our regional and online internal quality assurance training courses as well that get delivered. So the Esol regional quality meetings, so again, these are free. They can be held regionally in centres or online, obviously at the minute dependent. These are Esol specific meetings for existing coordinators and tutors. So again, a great way to share any questions, to give feedback as well, and have extra support and training. They're led by our subject experts, EQAs, and they're a great opportunity to network, share best practice with other practitioners. We focus mainly on assessments, example materials, resources, and general sector updates as well. So that's where you'll find all of our latest information directly to you from the EQA. And we will offer certificates afterwards for attendance, and that will count towards your CPD, which obviously I know is important for you, you to attend and to gain those CPDs. So our assessor and IQA courses, so these are Acentus-led free regional and online courses, and again, these count towards your CPD. They're aimed at tutors assessing and tutors in an internal verifier role. Again, it's a great way for networking, and it helps with familiarisation of Acentus's procedures, our paperwork, and our expectations. And this is to support new and existing centre tutors and IVs as well. So on to the assessment. The assessment is actually designed by Esol tutors for Esol tutors and with Esol learners in mind. They're unique task-based controlled assessments. We offer a variety of carefully designed topics across different modes and levels. So there's always one to suit each learner that you have as well. We provide detailed and supportive mark schemes. They're delivered when the learner is ready, and again, they're in their own classroom, and it's actually delivered by their own tutor as well. So if the learner is familiar with the tutor's accent at different levels, that can be accommodated as well. So there is a choice of live papers, and this supports the diversity of the Esol learners. We have a growing bank of practice papers that we continuously add to, and like I say, continuously update as well. There is no double staffing, so that's for tutor, facilitator, and assessor, and there is positive marking. You'll be pleased to know I am now handing over to my colleague Alex.
Thank you very much, Francis, and hi everyone. Again, just to echo Francis's comments, thank you very much for taking the time out to come and listen to our Esol presentation. I'm going to talk you through the next few slides before handing back over to Francis, who will talk you through some resources. So firstly, I'm going to talk about our reading, our Esol reading. So it's available at entry level 1 through to 3, and at level 1 and 2. Entry level 1 to 3, it consists of 3 tasks and 3 texts, and each task tests all the assessment criteria. It's very easy for me to say. The learner has 3 opportunities in which they can achieve all of the assessment criteria, and they must achieve all of the assessment criteria at least once, plus a numerical score. So that's at entry level 1 to 3. In terms of level 1 and 2, so this is 4 tasks and 4 texts. Again, there's 3 opportunities to achieve all of the assessment criteria across 4 tasks, and they must achieve all of the assessment criteria at least once plus a numerical score. In terms of the writing, each assessment contains 3 tasks. So task 1 is always the form, and they just have 1 opportunity here to meet the assessment criteria. And they must meet that criteria in order to achieve. Tasks 2 and 3, again, each task tests all of the assessment criteria, and they must meet all assessment criteria at least once in order to achieve. And they must produce 2 valid attempts to address all of the criteria. If the assessment in writing criteria from a task is not achieved, the equivalent task from another set may be attempted. So if they can't quite get their head around that task, then they can have an equivalent task from a different paper. So if we go to the entry levels for speaking and listening, so again, each assessment contains 3 tasks. In listening, there are 2 opportunities in which they have a chance to meet all of the assessment criteria, and Ascensus will provide you with the audio to be sat as a whole class. At entry 1, tutors can read transcripts and questions. So again, going back to that accent, how they're learning the tutor, the comfortability, at entry 1, the tutor can read those transcripts and questions. In terms of speaking, so task 2 is a role play with the tutor, and the learner would have no visibility towards a task in advance. Task 3, however, they would have access 2 weeks prior to the assessment, and this is a group discussion, and it'll be a general topic that will be given to them. This is across a wide range of our Esol qualifications, but if the assessment criteria from a task is not achieved, then again, the equivalent task from another set may be attempted. So again, if they can't quite get their head around performing one of the tasks, they can look to do an equivalent task from another paper. They have two opportunities across tasks 2 and 3 to meet all of the assessment criteria, and they must hit that at least once in order to achieve. So continuing with speaking and listening on level 1 and 2. So each assessment contains 3 tasks. So in the case of listening, they always have 3 opportunities to meet all of the assessment criteria. And again, we will provide the audio to be sat as a whole class. Speaking level 1, task 2 is a group role play. So an informal and a formal, where the task is unseen. So an informal might be that the task with being members of a flat that have an issue, and so they discuss the issue informally. And then the formal part of that role play is where they go and present the concerns to the landlord. Task 3 is a free choice presentation. It's a discussion presentation, and for this they would have 4 weeks to prepare. At level 2 for speaking, they have a limited choice presentation. So again, they will be given the presentation from a limited choice, and again, they would have 4 weeks to prepare for that. And at task 3, it will be a group discussion and a controversial topic, which I won't go into what may or may not be controversial at the moment with everything that's going on, petrol shortages, but they would have 4 weeks to prepare. Again, if the assessment criteria from a task is not achieved, then they may use an equivalent task from another set. They have 2 opportunities across tasks 2 and 3 to meet all of the assessment criteria, and again, they must hit all the criteria at least once in order to achieve. So that covers sort of entry level and levels 1 and 2. What do we have for pre-entry? So the people aren't quite ready to go on to the entry level qualifications. So we have pre-entry Esol quals. So these are an introduction to speaking for learners of other languages. It is a non-regulated qualification, but it does have the rigour of a regulated qualification. And of course, funding is available. Online staff training, learning resources, all provided for you. And the evidence details are the tutor judgment dependent on the learners, so a very quick assessment. As you would expect with it being pre-entry, it is mapped to the very bottom end of the Esol core curriculum. And again, although non-regulated, it does have that rigour of a regulated provision. It helps build the learner confidence to move on to entry level, and it is a certified qualification. So again, the pre-entry Esol sets that we have are called My Local Area and My Story. So again, mapped to the bottom end of the core curriculum, and these have been developed to allow the learner to provide simple information and to learn more about their area. So again, very basic, but lets them learn more about their local area and as well explain the story of their life up until this point. So we also have community interpreting. So we have community interpreting at levels 1 to 3. Again, this is funded. And this is bespoke subject specialist support. It is a portfolio qualification, and we do provide you with the tracking sheets in order to support the learner's progress. Level 3 is designed alongside the National Occupational Standards, and it is a roll-on, roll-off course, so verification and certification is offered throughout the year. Again, as with all of our qualifications, you do have direct contact with your external quality assurer and your designated customer support advisor all year round. So they're not just there at the start of the academic year, they're there for you all year round. And for the next academic year, there is a new unit available, which is remote interpreting. More details to follow on that. So finally on the suite, we have volunteering. So volunteering to support English language teaching and learning, which I think is a really nice qualification. It's relatively new to Census, and this is designed for people who aren't paid Esol tutors but want to volunteer. So it might be somebody that's gone all the way through the continuum, and they have other people arriving that speak the same mother tongue as them, so they want to give a bit back, so they'll start to teach, they'll volunteer to teach Esol in this instance. So it comprises of 4 units, which is assisting in the classroom, safeguarding in the English language classroom, practicing language use, and providing opportunities for social engagement. It is an extension of language learning, as I say, so you can build your own individualized curriculum, and it is a portfolio-based qualification. It does, however, provide clear learning outcomes with language and classroom activities, and again, certification and verification are offered all year round, as well as individual unit certification is available. So if they just wanted to do safeguarding in the English language classroom, they could just do that unit. So in terms of the assessment, it is 3 tasks. So task 1 is always the form. Again, they just have that one opportunity to meet the assessment criteria. They must meet all of the assessment criteria to achieve. Tasks 2 and 3, that tests all of the assessment criteria, and they must meet all of the assessment criteria at least once in order to achieve, and produce 2 valid attempts to address all of the criteria. Again, you're probably sick of me saying this, but if the assessment criteria from a particular task is not achieved, the equivalent task from another set may be attempted. And I will now pass over to Frances, who will go over through the website and resources with you.
Thank you very much, Alex. So our website is one that I know some of you use regularly, some of you might not use as often, but I just wanted to give you a brief overview of it. So we have here the access to HE provision. That is all things access, everything you'll need for your access provisions here. Qualifications tab, so all 400 qualifications can be found here, but broken down into sections. So the Esol section here, and then the pre-Esol or introduction to learning for speakers of other languages, as it is more formally known, is there as well. We then have the resources section. and the login page here. So it is worth noting the login page is only for Ascentis centres already. So all of our full specifications and many of our resources are available here, but only if you are a registered Ascentis centre. We then have the events page at the top. This is where you can find all upcoming webinars, like the one you're on today. The Join Us page here. So this is for people who would like to become an Ascentis customer. All of the forms needed can be found here. So we have the product catalogue, which lists all 400 of our qualifications, the centre recognition form available to download, the guidance documents there as well. If you are a registered centre and would like to add anything onto your provision, this blue box is the one for you. This is where you can download the qualification approval application form, fill it in and send it back to us. If you'd like any more information on any of these, please do feel free to contact myself or Alex. It's worth noting when you are an approved Ascentis customer, to add on extra qualifications, there is no additional fee to that. So some of the resources available. So we have mentioned the tracking sheets throughout this webinar. So this is actually a sample of them, what they look like. This is for the tutors, the learners as well. So the learner fills them in, the evidence is provided, the portfolio reference and the date completed. The learner then signs, the assessor then signs, and if it is one of the sampled, Eternal Verifier would sign as well. So I just thought I'd give you a demonstration of what that looks like. It's broken down into each unit area as well, and the codes at the top for you as well for reference. Some of our other samples, I won't open these because they will start to play, but you can get sample papers and audio files for each level that we have. So the entry levels and the levels 1 and 2. When you download them, it will save to a computer document. All of the sample papers and audios will be there for you as well. So again, they are available for you to have a look at. We also have the 101 Esol classroom activities. These are, as they sound, 101 classroom activities to help your learner in an engaging and fun manner. So you can do things like numbers with the count like this or pay attention. We have the bingos, different kinds of bingos, stand-up bingo, listening bingo. We have vocab, grammar, so all sorts of activities available for you to have a look at. You can download this once you're a customer with us. Have a look. I know a lot of the tutors really appreciate these. It's just a way to break up that learning into fun and a fun manner. And then just a view at some of our indicative content here. So this is obviously available on all of the specifications. I won't read through the specification because it is 53 pages and I don't think anyone would like that from me, but you can in your own time. And the indicative content, just an example of it here. Reasons to decline an assignment may include evaluating our own interpret skills, and processes for booking that may include as well. So loads of different parts of that indicative content for all of the units as well. So I'll just come back to our webinar. So obviously when we send out the slides, you will have links to all of that. We've also linked all of the specifications for you as well, so they are there for you to be able to find. So the reading announcement. So we actually now have an online reading that's available now. It's live. It started on the 1st of August. This is still to be delivered in the centre, cannot be done remotely, but it obviously is online. It's available for entry 2 and 3 and for the level 1. So to note, it isn't available for entry 1 or for level 2. It's automatically marked online, so no tutor marking is needed. And we do have a practice paper available for those approved centres, and that will take you through the whole process. This does not replace the paper reading. It is an option to do online or paper. So we have some testimonials included here. I won't read through them, but you can have a look at them when we send them out. So one from Berry Adult Learning, one from Barnet and Southgate. We have Hopwood Hall and East Sussex College there as well. These are some of our Ascentis Esol centres. So as you can see, there's a wide range from across the country, from Wolverhampton down to London, including Hull. So a huge range of centres there for you to see who runs the Esol in your area, to see, you know, when you're at those EQA meetings and everything like that. Some of these are our established centres already. And that takes us to the end of the presentation. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for joining myself and Alex. All questions will be answered at the end if we haven't answered them already, so we will stay on. And thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.